It's good to be recording again.
Yeah, I can feel it recording already. You just feel those recordings happening. I'm Tom Dickinson.
And I'm Louis Midas.
And this is the Cloister Room,
a podcast about Doctor Who and other things.
Do you want to talk about The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe?
I do, in fact.
Have you watched it more recently, or have you not watched it since Christmas Day?
I don't think I've watched it since Christmas Day, to be honest. Have you rewatched it?
Well, I watched it twice for Christmas. Actually, no, I watched it once more recently than that. I watched it sort of 2 weeks ago, I think. So, not very recently, but still recently.
It's been about a month for me, I guess. I guess that would be how it works.
A month and 3 days, perhaps?
Yeah, how about that? I remember it.
That's good. It's good to remember.
Yeah.
Never forget. Did you enjoy it?
I did. All right, we're done.
I haven't said whether I enjoyed it or not.
All right. Yeah. How did you feel about it?
I liked it. I didn't like it as much as last year's Christmas special, though. I was initially actually a little bit disappointed because I had my expectations raised because I had just rewatched A Christmas Carol from last year, and it was so good, and I loved it so much. And then I did not enjoy this as much.
Yeah, I think that in a lot of ways, I liked last year's special a lot better, A Christmas Carol. I think that this year was a good story, and I think it worked. I mean, I guess. I just don't think that it was, I think what I liked about A Christmas Carol was that it was kind of cleverer. Like, I thought it was a very clever use of time travel, and it was a very clever twist on A Christmas Carol. And I mean, I guess in a sense, The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe was kind of a twist on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but it wasn't really as... I don't feel that the parallel was as strong.
I don't think there was really that much of a parallel anyway.
True. It did have a thing that a child went through, and there was a difference in time, which was kind of cute, I guess. But yeah, it certainly wasn't the same thing at all, with regard to there being a witch on the other side, or a lion, or really much of anything except for a forest.
Yeah, I don't think, it's not that I think it, would have been better if it had those things, it's just...
True.
If you're not really going to do anything with the parallel, then what's the point in even having it at all?
Right.
I feel like A Christmas Carol, there was more of a point to the parallel.
Right, it was sort of directly inspired, I would say. I mean, even the Doctor himself was inspired by A Christmas Carol, because it sort of dawned on him in the episode itself that he should do a Christmas Carol-like
Right, and he referred to it specifically.
Yes, he did. So I think that there was a very strong kind of sort of parallel, and here it wasn't really present. And I mean, I don't really know if I expected there to be. I mean, I've sort of gotten in the habit of not having, or attempting to not have expectations with regard to Doctor Who, just because I'm usually wrong. So I mean, I wasn't really expecting there to be like a really strong parallel, but I did sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I mean, for the most part, I did like the story. It just wasn't last year, I guess.
Right, and I guess, I don't know, for me, I kind of have to get over the fact that it wasn't last year, because nothing's last year. Only last year is last year.
True.
And it was a fun story. I kind of rolled my eyes kind of towards the end when it turned out that the husband was actually alive. They saved him from already having been dead. Mm-hmm. I don't know, that was a bit too much.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think it would have kind of been a downer, like had he actually been dead.
He was already dead to begin with, so it's not like by having it end with him being dead, there would have been an additional downer. I mean, him being dead was sort of like part of the premise.
True.
Of it.
All right, I guess I could see that, but I still think it's kind of it would have been a bit much for Christmas.
Kylie Minogue was dead in The Voyage of the Damned.
Well, that's true, but she didn't have a family, I guess. I don't know.
That is true. She was a loner, a stowaway from Stowe.
Yes. I don't know.
She wasn't a stowaway, was she? No, she was a person who worked there. So, never mind.
Unless they do refer to people who leave the planet Stowe as being stowaways.
They probably do, and then they laugh.
Yes. Well, and who wouldn't? It's a funny pun.
Yeah, it sure is. Anyhow,
I guess I just expected, in my mind, I was like, oh, well, this guy dies. I bet he's going to come back. Well, actually, I actually don't really know if I thought he was going to come back, or that he was going to be saved somehow. The thing was that they didn't really rewrite time, because that would have bothered me if the Doctor or if Madge had somehow brought him back. Time had been rewritten. I think that would have...
Time can be rewritten.
I know it can be, but if it's rewritten all the time, it's not cool.
What do you mean that they didn't rewrite time? Because
in the telegram, it didn't seem to, if I'm remembering this correctly, it didn't seem to say that they had his body or something.
Was it just that he was missing, presumed dead?
I think so. I thought it was. I thought his plane went missing over the channel.
Maybe that's right.
The way that I interpreted it was that they didn't. They assumed he was dead, and it could be that's just plain wrong. If that is the case, then I don't mind it because it wasn't really rewritten. It was just sort of retconned, I guess. Time can be retconned. I'm pretty sure that's cool.
It certainly can, and it often is.
I don't know. So I didn't really mind that so much.
I felt like I was okay with that in the end because they thought he was dead, but then he wasn't dead, and then they sort of segue from that into this whole thing about how the Doctor's friends think he's dead, but he's not really dead.
Huh.
Not that they actually thought he was dead because they knew he was alive, but they thought that he was dead.
Yes. Right. Well, that's an interesting sort of little parallel thingy.
And then in the end, there was the visit with Amy and Rory. That was like a big aw moment. That was, I think, my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the best moments in the episode. And I think it was nice. Especially because we don't really know what sort of role Amy and Rory are going to play this next season. So I think it was kind of nice to sort of see them sort of back in action, I guess. Not action, but back.
They ate dinner off screen.
It's intense digesting action.
Well, since the Christmas special aired, it's been confirmed that they're leaving.
Right.
Which is weird because they've already left.
Okay.
It's sort of more like it's been confirmed that they're coming back and then leaving again. Because they pretty definitively left in Series 6.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. I mean, I guess, does someone ever really leave in Doctor Who? Well, yeah, they do.
Many characters.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, the thing is that it's funny because when Amy and Rory left, it didn't really feel like they'd left in my mind. I mean, I know that they had left, but it didn't feel like when, I don't know, Martha left, or Martha's really the only example I can think of because Donna's memory got erased and Rose got stuck in an alternate universe. So, their leaving is certainly a little bit more definitive, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like they'd really left, is what I'm trying to say.
I think probably the reason for that is because even, the episode in which they left, which was...
The God Complex.
How do I not remember that? Yeah. So the episode in which they left, the God Complex, that was... They did leave, but it was very clear that there was still a storyline in progress that heavily involved them.
True.
And that they would need to appear in. So
right.
that leaving didn't feel like a real leaving. And obviously it wasn't because they were in every episode since they left.
Yeah. Well, that makes leaving difficult.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep reappearing.
Yeah, sure does.
When they say that they've left, does that mean that they're not appearing at all next season?
No, they're going to appear in next season and then leave midway through. And there's also going to be a new companion. I don't know if the new companion's going to appear after they leave or before they leave or in the same episode as they leave or what, but yeah.
So then they will leave for real.
Yeah, I guess they will. But it's not like that they're going to pass a law saying that they can never appear on the show again.
Well, true.
And there's still a chance that, that Martha will appear again, that Rose will appear again, that, the Fifth Doctor will appear again.
But we don't really know if they're going to leave happily.
Die, or they could leave angrily.
They could just be fed up with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And just be like, you know what? We liked our apartment in wherever we were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they'll remember where they were.
Hopefully. Or else how are they going to get back there?
I'm interested to see how they'll depart. We haven't really had an actual companion death. I don't really expect them to die, I guess. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't, but kind of hope they don't.
I, too, kind of hope they don't. I mean, what do you mean we haven't had a companion death, have we?
Well, I mean, not recently. Not any big companions, I guess.
Well, Jack died.
Well.
Many times.
True. I guess he did. You know what? I'm completely wrong.
Apparently, yeah. And then Rory died.
Yeah, he did. Quite a lot.
Not as many times as Jack, though.
True. I bet he and Jack would get along, though.
I bet. In terms of the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe, I like the funny parts with the soldiers from Androzani.
Yeah, no, those were good. I like those.
They didn't really have anything to do with anything.
No, they didn't.
They only appeared on screen for maybe a total of about 5 minutes. And then left. But, I mean, that was enough.
Yeah, I don't think that they... Any longer, and they probably would have worn out their welcome. But no, they were welcome. That was kind of a fun little thing to just throw in characters that don't matter. Toss them aside.
And the writing for those characters was, very, very comedy.
Yes, it was.
It was different from the writing you get in Doctor Who now, I think.
Indeed.
Whereas, clearly, we're doing a comedy bit now, where these characters are just going to be, bickering and sniping at one another, like a sketch comedy thing.
Yeah, it was a very interesting sort of segue. I think that it was... I don't think it was really needed in the episode. I don't want to say it was a welcome relief that there was a comedy bit. But I think that it was kind of a cool thing and sort of lightened the tone a little bit. Because I think overall it would have been a much... I mean, obviously they weren't in it very much, but I think that it would have been kind of a drearier episode for much of the episode if they hadn't been there to kind of just lighten things up a little bit. The episode wasn't that dreary. I'm making it out to be a really dreary, just, morose kind of affair, but it wasn't. But
a lot of it was opposite of dreary, like him going through the house and showing them
true,
the lemonade tap and the hammocks and
yeah, I liked that bit
and all
too.
that good stuff.
I liked that.
That was good.
Yes, I forget the exact term that he used, but I think he said that he repaired the sitting room or something like that. That was funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that whole bit. That was quite entertaining. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't. It really wasn't dreary. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know why you said it either.
I don't know. No, it was.
I like the Androzani reference as well.
Yeah, with the
the caves. Of
those caves
didn't have much to do with the caves of Androzani,
right? But it was cool because I did pick up on the reference, and I was like, I know what they're talking about.
There was also a reference to the end of the world.
Was there?
Yeah, the Doctor was talking about how the trees can be intelligent. Talking about how he once met the forest of Cheam and it fancied him.
Oh yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it was like blink and you miss it. Although you might not have missed it because it's sound, and blinking isn't necessarily going to make you miss sound, but still.
Well, you can blink with your ears. I think you can wiggle your ears. That's kind of. You can wiggle them, can't you? Yeah, and I agree. I think I like it without an outro.
That's just how we do things in that other podcast that I do, and I like that way of doing things better. So I just figured I'd steal it back here.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a lot snappier.
It is. It's snappy is exactly the word I was thinking.
And I think anyone who needs to know that information about how to get in touch with us and the fact that there will be other episodes, they can figure that out.
Probably.
If that's a concern for them.
Yeah, and also, how exactly would they be hearing our podcast if they didn't already know our website address?
They could have subscribed in the iTunes store.
Oh, that's true. But does the iTunes store have, links or something?
I don't think it might link to our website. I don't know.
Huh. Well, anyhow.
I just don't know.
Yeah, if they want to get in touch with us, yeah, they're probably able to figure it out. They're probably a bunch of smart people.
I believe in them.
Yeah, I like to think that our listenership is a smart bunch of cookies.
They're all cookies. Each and every one a cookie.
Yes, precisely. What other confection would they be?
Nothing at all.